How are you doing?
Monday morning, Judge, but I'm surviving.
Oh, that's good. Now, Mr. Shalanda, the state is represented in this case by Attorney Ray Shearer. Attorney Shearer, how are you doing?
We're gonna have to echo Mr. Sheelander.
And Mr. Shalander, what is your announcement?
Now, we have a little difficulty getting an offer and, Pierce has some trouble today, since he just stepped in for last second. So,
Okay.
Rather than take up all his time trying to figure me out, we're asking the court to recess another time.
Okay,
Yeah, the state's asking the same, so.
okay, give us a 30-day reset. Okay, this case, Mr. Speaks will be reset to July 31st at 9 a.m. Mr. Speaks, your attorney and your bonds will be given notice of your reset dates. Once you get your reset from your attorney, well, your attorney will be given a reset date, and stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go, and thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Shalanda, you can get your reset, and you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Don't deal with the, okay, okay.
Kind of pulls you out of the crowd.
Okay, I got you.
Cade Martin, okay. This is cause number M332026. Case to style the state of Texas versus Cade Robert Martin. Mr. Martin, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Martin?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Martin, you're representing your case by Attorney Alan Parker. Attorney Parker, how are you
I'm
doing?
good, Judge.
And Mr. Parker, what's your announcement in Mr. Martin's case?
Your Honor, we've applied for pretrial. There's been some questions about some of the qualifications. We're getting them information. I'm waiting to hear back from the district attorney's office about the case, so I would hope. the
Okay,
next
let me
few
see,
weeks
this is,
on that.
And the next pretrial signing will be in August, so.
but he probably won't be on that signing, right? June, July. We could, it's gonna be.
Yeah, we-
Okay, okay.
yeah. So,
Okay, so we'll reset it to the second week in August.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
it's
Judge.
this is on Cade Martin. He's on the pretrial conference docket, the second one. Once you get your reset from the court coordinator, Mr. Parker, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Martin, you'll be free to go as well. Have a blessed day.
And.
It's gonna be the second week in August.
On that same docket, I'm gonna get Mr. Gilmore, because he's supposed to be getting paying a JP reduction.
Okay. What it, Okay. This is cause number M334084. Case is style the state of Texas versus Luke Andrew Troxel. Mr. Troxel, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Troxel?
A little bit nervous.
Oh, just relax. You have your attorney here, James Padgett. He'll take care of everything for you. Okay. Now, Mr. Troxel, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
You all right? And Mr. Padgett, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Padgett. What is your announcement in Mr. Troxel's case?
Your Honor, we have received all discovery except for the video evidence, and I actually have had to go back and re-request that. because of the
Okay.
New system, it required us. to
Okay.
follow a different procedure, so
Okay,
that's been done. and
Okay.
I'm awaiting video evidence. I checked this morning. and it's
Still
Still
on.
not in.
okay. Give us a reset date.
July 31st.
And the state, you have any objections?
No objections.
Okay. Mr. Troxel, your case is going to be reset to July 31st to give your attorney an opportunity to get the video and to complete the discovery, get the evidence in your case. And so your case is reset to July
Your
31st.
Honor, we can move forward as soon as I receive that. How about
Okay.
the other evidence, and I just need to sit down with him when we get this videotape. and
Okay.
Review it.
Okay, so your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Padgett, I think this is on the
Yes,
case.
Your Honor.
You're free to go as well. You have a blessed day. Yes.
Just a second.
Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session with its trial docket. First case is clause number M330647, case is style of state of Texas versus Jeremy Curtis Creamer. Mr. Creamer, is that your full name?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
How you doing, Mr. Creamer?
Doing well, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Creamer, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Kurt Crenshaw. Attorney Crenshaw, how are you doing?
Doing well, sir. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Mr. Crenshaw, what is your announcement in Mr. Creamer's case?
Well, Judge, we had intended to announce already, but due to the prosecutor on the case being ill and the fact that we would likely not be reached anyway, since the case is newer, according to the court, we were fifth from the bottom. We would ask at this time the court just reset us on the trial docket.
Okay, give us a reset date.
August 21st.
State is not opposed.
No, okay. What is that date?
August 21st.
Okay, this case is reset to August 21st. Mr. Creamer, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. All right, and you have a blessed day as well, Mr. Crenshaw.
Can we do what, September?
In September.
Okay. Okay, what date is that? September? September 11th. We got to check his schedule. Any one of those?
To 18. just
Okay.
because The 11th, I've got a offsetting in the power.
Okay, so September 18, 2023. Okay. See. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session, trial docket. Next case is cause number M327650. Case is style of state of Texas versus Nathaniel Darbone. Mr. Darbone is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Darbone, you can take your mic off of mute. How are you doing, Mr. Darbone?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Darbone, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney John Macy. Attorney Macy, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Macy, what is your announcement in Mr. Darbone's case?
Your Honor, we're ready. To refresh your memory, Mr. Darbon had a felony charge, so this case was going along with it, but that case was dismissed. And so the state was considering dismissing this one, but they chose not to. And so Mr. Darbon wanted to go forward with the trial.
Okay,
If I counted it right, it looks like there's about 6 cases older than his on the docket.
well, but we don't know.
I understand, but
Let
I
me,
just-
yeah,
Okay, real quick,
right. And then I think, yeah, and then,
we're ready.
okay, you ready to state?
They were called ready.
Okay, all right. So,
That's with my knowledge.
yeah, just be back here tomorrow at 1:30, Mr. Darbone. Need to be in court at 1:30 tomorrow. Your case is scheduled for trial. We'll pick a jury. at 1:30. All right. All right. You're free to go, Mr. Darbone, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
1:30 tomorrow. Gibbs County Court, law number 2 is now in session in 2 cases. First case is cause number M329101. Second case is cause number M326433. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Matthew Giblin. Mr. Giblin, is that your full name?
Matthew Aaron Giblin.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Giblin?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Giblin. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Glenn Crocker. Attorney Crocker, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Your Honor.
That's good. Now, Mr. Crocker, Mr. Giblin's cases are on the court's trial docket. And what is your announcement in Mr. Giblin's cases?
Your Honor, if we're going to pick a jury tomorrow, then I cannot be ready. I have a conflict that I'm already scheduled for trial in Hardin County before the bench on 2 felony drug cases. I also have a motion to suppress on file in this matter for a warrantless blood draw.
Okay,
That's kind of the scenario we have.
so now you said, oh, you said number 1 in Hardin County?
My understanding, I'm going to trial, yes.
Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do, because we got a DWI second here. Let me just, I'll just hold and you just confirm with us tomorrow whether or not you're going, before, because I mean, we got a number of cases. I don't even know if yours is gonna be one that's actually gonna be reached. But I don't wanna, because if it gets reached and then you don't go to trial there, then at least we'll be able to go to trial here.
Absolutely.
Okay, now that's district court, right?
Yes.
So they have priority over us anyway, so misdemeanor court. So what we're gonna do is we'll just reset it tomorrow for 1:30 and just keep the court informed as to the status of your case over there in Hardin County. Okay.
Thank you. very
And
much.
state, what's your announcement?
Was announced already.
Okay, ready, okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Gilman, stay in contact with your attorney. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you.
And you have a blessed day as well. Okay, this is cause number M329584. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Arturo David Beltra Cisneros. Mr. Cisneros, would you please come forward? Mr. Cisneros, is your full name Arturo David Beltra Cisneros?
Yes, Your Honor.
How you doing, Mr. Cisneros?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good. Mr. Cisneros, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Tom Kelly. Attorney Kelly, how are you doing?
Just fine, Judge.
And Mr. Kelly, what is your announcement in Mr. Cisneros' case?
We're ready.
State?
State's ready.
Okay. Now, Mr. Kelly, what we're going to do, we have a lot of people announcing ready. So you're scheduled to be back here tomorrow at 1:30, unless you get a call from the court informing you that some other case is going to be going.
Understood, Judge.
All right. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You're welcome.
Our state's not.
Okay, so, you're requesting that that this case be reset, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, give us a reset date on these cases. He's on page 2 of the announcement docket at the top.
July 31st or August 7th.
July 31st works, because I'll be hearing on another case.
Okay, so Mr. Gresham, your cases will be reset until July 31st of 2023. Your attorney is gonna get your resets. Once you get your resets from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. All right. All right. And Mr. Fagger, these are your only 2 cases, so you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. Oh. Jefferson County Code at Law number 2 is now in session. Court is back in session and calls number M331710. Case style State of Texas versus Robert Edward Arredondo. Mr. Arredondo, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Arredondo?
I'm okay.
That's
Tired,
good.
but I'm okay.
Now, Mr. Arredondo, you're represented in your case by your attorney, John West, Attorney West. How are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. Thank
Mr. West, what is your announcement in Mr. Arredondo's?
you. We're ready, Your Honor. I know the state was going to be getting me an offer this morning. They just passed it to me, so I'm gonna talk to my client. But otherwise, if we don't accept this offer, then we're still ready for trial.
Okay. Say,
State's ready.
okay. All right. Now, if the offer is not accepted, then we'll be back here tomorrow, 1:30 for
Okay.
trial. Just having to have a seat. Your next case is cause number M324-911. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Mamie Lee Guillory. Ms. Guillory, you can come forward. Good morning. How you doing, Ms. Guillory? I'm doing fine. Now, Ms. Guillory, your full name is Mamie Lee Guillory?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Guillory, you represented in your case by your attorney, John West. Attorney West, what is your announcement in Ms. Guillory's case?
Ready, Your Honor.
State.
State's ready.
All right, now, Ms. Guillory, you need to be back here tomorrow at 1:30. We picking a jury. We don't have a trial order yet. And so unless you hear otherwise from your attorney, you should be back tomorrow at 1:30.
I'll let you know for today, whether we're.
All right, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. And now we're gonna do Mr. Harris. Jacob Harris. Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session and cause number M332662. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Jacob Harris. Mr. Harris, is that your full name? Okay, Mr. Harris, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Harris, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yeah. Okay, Mr. Harris, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Harris? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Harris. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge.
Mr. Reynolds, do you waive a record in Mr. Harris's case?
So late, Judge.
Mr. Harris, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on or about October 17, 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you, Jacob Harris, committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, this information further alleges that prior to the commission of this offense, that you, Jacob Harris, on November 22nd of 2019, in County Court at law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, and cause number 324654, that you committed the misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, and that conviction became final prior to the commission of this offense. Mr. Harris, is that true?
Yeah, but I thought I was just on one.
No, I'm just saying this, you're here on a DWI second. And so when I'm asking you, was your first DWI conviction in this court on November 22nd of 2019 and cause number and cause number 324654. Is that true?
It's my first time coming to this court. First time coming on any JWI. My first time ever coming to
Okay, they said, well, it's hold on, they're saying back in oh, no, my bad. It's Harris County.
Harrison.
No, whatever, no, your name, Jacob Harrison, the county code at law number 2. Maybe I gotta blow that up. Zoom in. Jacob. Yeah, it says Jefferson County and cause number M324654. Could we look that case up?
That's what I'm doing.
What's the number?
Actually, I guess it'll be M324654. It would have been under the old system under, but you still could look up his priors, right?
I can look up case numbers and, prior to, okay. So I have 324654 pulled up. What information are you?
You have a copy of the judgment?
Yes, sir.
Could we print that off? Print off is the misdemeanor plea admonishments and trial court certification out of that case too.
Yes, sir.
Also, he already,
Here's the judgment.
okay, he got 60 days on that. Nola Contendere.
It was his court.
Credit for time served. He was a pro se. Let's see. Yeah, it was pro se. Let me look at something. Let me see. Is that the misdemeanor plea admonishment? This is judgment. This is the misdemeanor plea admonishment. What about the trial court certification? This is a misdemeanor plea admonishment.
324654.
Oh, you know what? It copied on both sides of the page.
Okay, so you don't need anything.
No.
There's a.
And the signature looking like me. I mean, you could see that the signature here. Where it says defendant. You see that? You can show it to him. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's the document. They even have fingerprints on it too. I mean, if need be, we can get that. Now, let me do this here. Let me go back. The information. Now it says that the state filed this information, this new information. All right. And this information says that you, Jacob Harris, on or about October 17th of 2020, while you're in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed to class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which is second, driving while intoxicated second. It further alleges that before the commission of this offense or prior to the commission of this offense, that you, Jacob Harris, on or about November 22nd of 2019, in County Code at Law number 2, Jefferson County, Texas, cause number 324654, that you were convicted of the misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, and that conviction became final prior to this offense. Is that true or not true? What they're saying is that this offense, this past offense, happened before this new offense. Do you understand that? Now, is that true or not true? True. All right. Now, Mr. Harris, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, second, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest? Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Okay, now, Mr. Harris, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document? You have to say yes. Now, on page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials, JH, that are on a line next to a box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Mhm.
You have to say yes.
Yeah.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yeah, I would like to appeal it, but I don't think there's a part of the plea board and
Yeah, this is part of the plea bargain.
that I won't be able to do it.
Yes.
That's-
And the second box that's checked says that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? All right. Now, also, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, Mr. Harris, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, go over these documents with you? And did you understand everything that he went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Harris, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Reynolds?
There's no objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Reynolds, you have advised and counseled Mr. Harris. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge, Judge.
Mr. Harris, your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yeah.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Okay. Now, Mr. Harris, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for Mr. Harris to serve 60 days in Jackson County Jail. He should have credit for time served on that, so the sentence will be satisfied. And the court is also, or the state is also asking that we tax and retire court costs.
Okay, Mr. Harris, the state is offering that you serve 60 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you've already served 60 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court cost in this case is $457, but you will not be required to pay the $457 court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Mr. Harris, do you understand the state's offer? And do you think that the state's offer is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Mr. Harris, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Harris, this will conclude your case, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following our clerk's directions, then you can follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day. Right here. Court is in session and calls number M 325-476. Case is style of state of Texas versus Carolyn Marie Holloway. Ms. Holloway, would you please come forward?
I'm here.
Ms. Holloway, is your full name, Carolyn Marie Holloway? How you doing, Ms. Holloway? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Holloway, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Peter Doyle. Attorney Doyle, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Doyle, well, Mr. Sure, I have before me a motion to dismiss in Ms. Holloway's case. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And Ms. Holloway, the court has filed a motion to dismiss, and I've just signed that motion to dismiss this case. You should be able to get a copy of it in a few seconds. Your attorney is going to give you a copy. Once you get a copy from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Please stand on the X in front of our clerk right here. And Mr. Doyle, I think this is your only case as well. You'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. You are. M 332-131, case of style of state of Texas versus Kendrick Arthur Williams.
Ready.
Mr. Williams, your full name is Kendrick Arthur Williams?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Williams? That's good, Mr. Williams. You're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Todd LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
Good.
Now, Mr. Oh, you're welcome. Now, Mr. LeBlanc, Mr. Williams' case is on the court's trial docket. What is your announcement?
We're ready.
Okay, state.
That'd be ready, Your Honor.
Now, I'm looking at this case. This case is a 2022 case. Okay, well, it's early 2022, January 2022. Okay. So you and your client will be back tomorrow at 1:30. Now, stay in contact with your attorney, because if that changes, we have several cases, we're gonna have to set a trial order. And your case may or may not be in the group of cases that's maybe set to go. Okay, but stay in contact with your attorney, and we're gonna let your attorney know as well today. All right, y'all have a blessed day. So it's reset tomorrow at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, Mr. Gilthor.
Please, ready for you.
So
I sent it to you, right?
Jorge Quezada. Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session and cause number M329223. Case is style of State of Texas versus Jose Quezada. Mr. Quezada, is that your full name?
Jorge Quesada.
Yes. Mr. Quezada, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Quezada?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Quezada, you represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Jared Gilthorpe. Attorney Gilthorpe, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Gilthorpe, do you waive a record in Mr. Quezada's case?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Quezada, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Jorge Quezada, on or about December 9th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Quezada, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to discharge Mr. Quezada, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Guilty?
Yes.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Quezada, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Quezada, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that says guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Mr. Quezada, is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have that discovery certification?
This part.
Your Honor, the court, the state will get you the audit reports.
Okay. Now, Miss, you got to sign it too.
Oh.
Is dated, is it dated?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Quezada, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Quezada, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Quezada, are you a citizen of the United States? Okay, we need to get him on one of these forms to sign. What country are you from?
Honduras.
Honduras, okay. Mr. Quezada, I have before me a document that is titled, it says titled English Statement 1 for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that says signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you circle the word no, and that is below the statement that states, do you want us to notify your consular officers at this time? And you circle no, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going back to State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. In this document, there's a paragraph that's titled citizenship. It's the last paragraph on this page. You see that? And it states, if you are not a U.S. citizen, or plead guilty or no contendere may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, do you still want to go forward with your plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Gilthorpe, you advised and counseled Mr. Quezada pursuant to Padilla versus Kentucky. Did you advise him of the consequences of him, by him not being a U.S. citizen, the consequences of him pleading guilty or no contest?
Yes, Your Honor, we've visited about the potential immigration consequences. He's aware of those.
And you also practice immigration law, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Quezada, prior to signing and initialing, go back over this. Prior to signing and initialing all of the documents that we just showed you, your attorney went over these documents with you. And you read and understand everything in these documents. And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay. And State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1
Yes, Your
into
Honor.
evidence? Any
No.
objections?
No, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. And Mr. Gilthorpe, you advising counsel, Mr. Quezada, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Okay, Mr. Quezada, your attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Quezada, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
And what is that agreement?
Mr. Quezada's case, he will serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, that time will be probated over 1 year. He'll pay a $500 fine and do 60 hours of community service, and the state is requiring an interlock.
Okay. 1 year. And so $500 fine plus court costs. Okay, Mr. Quezada, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs. You'll also be required, now the court cost in this case is $452. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DW education class and initial evaluation fee of $125. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total amount that you have to pay each month while you're on probation is $170 a month. Will you be able to pay the $170 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll be required to attend and complete a DW education class. You will be required to have a drug and alcohol assessment. And you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms of DWI probation. Now, Mr. Quezada, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Quezada, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Quezada, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. This is cause number M333732, case of style of state of Texas versus Justin Trey Bishop. Mr. Bishop, is that your full name? Okay, again, Mr. Bishop, how are you doing? That's good. Mr. Bishop, you're represented in your case by your attorney Jared Gilthorpe. Mr. Gilthorpe, this case is on the court's announcement docket. What is your announcement in Mr. Bishop's case?
Good. We'd like to move him to a trial docket.
Okay, give us a trial date.
August 21st.
Okay, this case will be reset for trial August 21st of 2023. Mr. Bishop, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please stand in front of our court coordinator. And Mr. Gilthorpe, this is your last case. You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day. Mona Hogan.
Well, I'm sorry. I can find out. Regional. I think
Jefferson County Court of Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in 2 cases. First case is cause number M323728. Second case is cause number M24002. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Mona Renell Hogan. Ms. Hogan, is that your full name? Ms. Hogan, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Hogan, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Ms. Hogan, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Hogan? That's good. Ms. Hogan, you're here represented by your attorney, Tom Burbank. Attorney Burbank, how are you doing? And Mr. Burbank, do you waive a record in Ms. Hogan's case?
We do.
Cases?
Yes.
Ms. Hogan, in cause number M3237. That's all.
I think the bailiff wants to confiscate.
Next. Let's see. Okay, I have before me, Ms. Hogan, a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on or about May 10th of 2019, while you're in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, prior to the commission of this offense, the information alleges that you, Mona Renell Hogan, on March 23rd of 2018 in County Court of Law number 2 of Orange County, Texas, in cause number E110137, that you was convicted of the misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, and that conviction became final prior to the commission of this offense. Is that true or not true?
We're only going on the lesser included Class B.
Oh, yeah? State, you abandoning the enhancement paragraph?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
Oh, okay.
And the basis for that, Your Honor, is Ms. Hogan, at the court, in this case and the other case, had a problem and went to rehab, successfully completed it, and it appears that she is doing well.
Okay. Now, Ms. Hogan, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph. So that changed this Class A misdemeanor offense to a Class B misdemeanor. It reduces it to a Class B misdemeanor offense. Do you understand that? Yeah. And to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which occurred on or about May 10 of 2019 in Jefferson County, Texas, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place. How do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest these charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Ms. Hogan, I also have before me in this case a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. you're gonna have to, you checked off the class B and DWI, you're gonna have to,
And the other one wasn't erased, Judge.
oh, this one doesn't erase. So is it all right for me to erase it on this document?
Absolutely. Your Honor.
Okay, so now, Ms. Mahogan, you see here that you only have one box that's checked. This box says that this is a DWI first, which is a class B misdemeanor. Do you understand that? Now, and I'm gonna erase where it says second. Yeah. And on page 2 of the same document, there are 2 sets of initials. One set is your attorney's initials, and the other set, are these your initials next to your attorney initials on the line next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature? On the next document, it's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there's 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? That's it.
Yes, sir.
Bless you. And Ms. Hogan, I also have before me a document that's titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's
Yes.
titled defendant? Ms. Hogan, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hogan, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
State would, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections.
No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Burbank, you advised in counsel, Ms. Hogan, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
And Ms. Hogan, your attorney, Mr. Burbank has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Ms. Hogan, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The court cost is wrong on here. In this, the fine is wrong because the fine is 125, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
On here, it says 500. No, we're gonna correct it. I just looked at that as how high it was.
What's the number?
Because
I haven't even typed anything in here.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's 323,728. I think the court cost should be like, you take that 500 out, it should be like 467.
August 21st. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably, I think maybe what happened, they might have had some plea bargain that they had worked out in the past or something, I don't know.
Is that what
But-
happened? Because I,
Yeah, but so when that court cost is not right, because that fine is not right.
right,
I'm just assuming that if you do the paperwork, I'm just wondering if it's gonna come out right. Once you put in, it's not?
No, because it's gonna take what's already in Odyssey and then add what I'm adding today, so I need to call.
Okay,
About that.
okay. It's called downstairs and having to correct it. They did it before.
Um.
Okay. That's it, and that's gonna be divided 1507. Divided by 137. Okay. Now, Ms. Hogan, the state is offering that oh, a minute. Okay, now, Ms. Hogan, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to spend any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $125, court costs of $467, a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay a Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $137 a month. Will you be able to pay the $137 each month?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Let me ask you something. Are you court appointed?
Yes.
You're not? All right. Now, you will also be required to have an interlock device. Let me see, that's one. That's 90 days probated over 1 year. Okay, you'll also be required to perform, that's what it is, community service for 40 hours. You'll also be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're required to have a drug and alcohol assessment. And you'll be required to attend a DWI education class, and you will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Now, Ms. Hogan, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Ms. Hogan, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Hogan, we will move on to your next case. Your next case is cause number M324002. And this case was also filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And in this case,
State is also paying.
the 1-5, okay. And in this case, Ms. Hogan, the state had filed an information alleging that you committed the class A misdemeanor driving while intoxicated with alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. The state will be reducing this to a class B misdemeanor as well. And in this information, it alleges that you, Mona Renell Hogan, on or about June 4th of 2019, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Ms. Hogan, do you understand? Do you understand what you have been charged with? And to discharge, you need one of these. Could you have somebody get her a drink? Oh, yeah, you could go to your bag.
So sorry. They fixed the one on 32728 for the police, but I looked at the other ones in 24002 and it had a condition, so I'm calling back downstairs.
Okay.
So that just because she.
Yeah, I see that. Of course, and this one was like 1,000.
Just called and.
Yeah, I see that. This is 512. Now, Ms. Hogan, again, to the charge of Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated in cause number M324002, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes.
And Ms. Hogan, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize? Let me do this. I gotta write abandonment.
Cause it's like 1,000 something. Right? Like, closed out in the case just because of it.
Okay, so Ms. Hogan, I just wrote on here the state was abandoning enhancement paragraph, which makes this here's DWI first class B. Now, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir. I do.
On page 2 of this same document,
Yeah.
there are 2 sets of initials. First set is your attorney's initials. Both set of initials are on the line next to a box. Just check no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials next to your attorney's initials? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir. Yes.
On the next document that's titled trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
And I also have before me on paper a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, Ms. Hogan, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me state's exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment and Stacy exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, would you like to offer Stacy exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections.
No objections. Stacy exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. And Mr. Burbank, in this case, you advise and counsel Ms. Hogan, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No,
And Ms. Hogan, your attorney, has advised and counseled you in this case as well. You satisfied with his services in this case?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hogan, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
And what is that agreement?
Because number M324002. Defendants receive 90 days Jefferson County Jail, however, that will be probated over 1 year.
Okay,
You will have 40 hours of community service, pay $125 fine, and the interlock is required along with the drug and alcohol assessment. This cause number will run concurrent.
okay.
M323728.
Okay. It's 7. Okay, now, Ms. Hogan, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $125 and court costs of $512. The probation fee is $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Now, that's a total of $141 a month. However, because you're already on probation, it's going to be reduced by $60. And so therefore, you'll be paying $81 a month on this case. Will you be able to pay the $81 each month?
Yes.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll be required to have a drug and alcohol assessment. You attend and complete the DW education class. In this case, will run concurrent with cause number M323728. And you also adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Ms. Hogan, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Hogan, I'll follow the plea bargain agreements that you have entered into with the state. Now, Ms. Hogan, this is going to conclude your case. You're going to stand in front of our court coordinator, our court clerk, and follow her directions. And once you follow direction, you'll be free to leave. And before you go, Ms. Hogan, court would like to commend you for taking the initiative to handle your problem that you have with alcohol. And just a reminder, you probably already know that the road to recovery is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And so you know anything between a sprint and a marathon. A sprint is a short race, a marathon is a longer race. You may get tired along the way. And however, there are people who are there, you have a support system, people that you can lean on, individuals that have been helping you along the way while you're on this road to sobriety. If you get tired along the way, lean on them. You have people that's going to be helping you in the probation department as well, and also utilize their services. But again, the court like to commend you for taking control of your problem. And at this time, you're going to stand in front of our court clerk. Oh, just have a seat because they have to make some corrections. The correction was because of the court cost was wrong. Okay? You have a blessed day. You're welcome. All right. And thank you, Mr. Burbank. Now we have, you can have a seat. Now you have Richard Bell. Is he here?
Yes, right, he's outside.
And what about John Bernard?
He's also outside.
Judge, you have to hold up on the second one.
I didn't give it to you. Put it over there. Is it over there?
One, but he had two cases, right? He had two cases.
Thought I gave it.
Hold on, hold on.
Okay, how you doing? Again,
Had the sergeant, right?
Okay. This is this Mr. Bell? Okay, this is cause number M333706, case of South State of Texas versus Richard Bell. Mr. Bell, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Bell?
Pretty good.
That's good. Mr. Bell, you're represented in this case by your attorney Thomas Burbank. Attorney Burbank, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
That's good. Mr. Burbank, what is your announcement in Mr. Bell's case? He's on the trial docket.
My last conversation with the assistant district attorney, there was supposed to be a dismissal. We have provided all the paperwork. I know that
Mr. Hoffbauer.
or Mr. Hoffbauer probably doesn't realize that. But I would hope that before today or tomorrow, that will be done.
We'll have to check into it and see, but it's more likely than not.
Okay, so
He lives in Daytown with his mom and dad who are here.
okay.
So maybe if the
What I'm-
court could get me or the district attorney can notify me like tomorrow morning or this afternoon, I can tell him not to be here.
Okay, so we'll do that. So you could explain that to your client. They're going to, the prosecutor's handling the case is out sick today. And so he's standing in for him. And so he has to look into the matter to verify that the case was supposed to be dismissed. And if he verifies that the case will be dismissed,
Yes.
is that correct, Mr. Shearer?
That is correct.
And so your attorney, they're gonna stay in contact with your attorney. We're gonna ask that you stay in contact with your attorney. He's gonna let you know at least by tomorrow morning, if not today, whether or not you need to be here tomorrow at 1:30 for trial. But in all likelihood, from what I'm hearing, the case is gonna be dismissed, but they just need to look into this matter a little deeper. Okay,
May he be excused?
Yes, you may be excused.
I'll talk to you all, mom and dad.
okay,
Okay, so hold on, don't go.
okay. Next case is clause number M328902, case of Style of State of Texas versus John Willis Bernard. John Bernard,
He's outside. Bernard?
Mr. Bernard. Okay, this is cause number M328902, case of Style of State of Texas versus John Willis Bernard. Mr. Bernard, is that your full name?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, Mr. Bernard, you're represented here by your attorney Tom Burbank. Mr. Burbank, what is your announcement?
He has rejected the plea offer, Judge. They will go on to the state or our assistant. Was going to look into the DWI because there was some question on it, but subject to that, we'll be ready when.
Okay, state.
The new district attorney, they are handling the case, may not be ready. We have no
I think the last time we appeared in court, they were saying something about, levels of something that they had under suspicion for pulling me over, which wasn't in my system, so I'm trying to figure out why it's still prolonged.
Your Honor, not to get into the facts of the case, this is gonna be a combination case.
Oh, okay. So what are y'all announcing?
The state would like a reset on this.
Sir, this been going on since 2020.
I know, I think the problem is just listen for a minute. Now,
He was on the special caseload at one time, Judge.
all right,
And then he had COVID,
right,
and then different prosecutors.
right. Was that's what I was getting ready to explain. Now, was Lamar in this case at first?
No, it was prior to Lamar.
Okay.
But Lamar did have it.
Okay, and then that prosecutor, the district attorney, he's no longer working with him. The other district attorney who's handling these cases until we get a new prosecutor, he's out sick today.
Okay.
And so he just found out, they brought him in to come in the last 2 hours to try to help out. That's all his role is.
Right, I understand.
Okay. So
And you can understand his frustration.
I understand.
But it's just part of.
Still a burden on the court by having this keep coming up and coming up and coming up.
Yeah, but I mean, at this time, we can't prosecute the case without a prosecutor.
I understand.
Okay, and so that's neither,
You know.
people get sick. I mean, that happens. All right. And so this is gonna be reset. Give us a reset date. We'll give him a priority setting. We probably can, next time he's gonna say, we're gonna set him number one.
Number one trial,
Right.
so,
The next, when he comes up again, you're gonna be the number one case. Okay,
Because I work 6 days out the week, 2 to 10, so this is.
you say July 31st?
Make sure.
What month is, oh, that's July 31st. Okay, July 31st.
We go past July 31st.
Okay, what about in August?
I don't know dates for her. That's the only thing. Too close to get back to the next month. She'll be here on July 31st.
Who's gonna be here today?
Hey,
Somebody's gonna be here today.
it's Ada.
Somebody, yeah,
She's
you can ask her today. We don't have to wait. I mean, I'm just saying. We're gonna send him his reset
So I just
Okay.
want to take my bond.
and your lawyer. All right.
You'd be excused.
Yes, you may be excused. Yeah,
If y'all will email or fax,
right.
stop over anytime.
Okay.
Do I have anything to sign?
No, your attorney is gonna, his reset is gonna be sent to him. So you still participating in the Spinatar? How is that going? The Spinatar program?
It's going. I'm still active on my medication. I'm still
Okay,
active participating.
okay, that's good. All right, keep up the good work. All right,
Yeah, I'd excuse you.
yes. Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session on the announcement docket. 2 cases, cause number M331016, cause number M332554, both cases are style of the state of Texas versus Charquita S. Costley.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Costley, how are you doing?
Bless.
That's good. It can't be better than being blessed. Now, Ms. Costley, you're represented by your attorney Theodore Jones Jr. Attorney Jones, how are you doing?
Pretty good, John.
That's good. Mr. Johns,
Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Costley's case is on the court's announcement docket.
Yes, sir.
What is your announcement?
Well, we just left the drug court,
Okay,
okay? And it's set for a plea on 7/31 over there.
okay.
And
You gonna-
it's been difficult getting the offer from this because y'all haven't had attorneys over here. And the discovery, the Odyssey system not letting us get discovery. So I would ask that this case be reset for that hard thing in felony court. And by then, I've been told that I can get the discovery because whatever reason, I guess it's the age of these cases, the Odyssey is not showing me the discovery on these 2 cases.
I think they have a new system, if I'm not, that's what I heard. Something
Yeah.
about a new system that they have.
But, Mr. Adams is not here right now, Langston Adams, but, there's something
Mr.
going on with this
Kimler.
thing where.
Yeah, you need to put a jacket on. We'll get one for you. Yeah, okay, we'll get one for you. Okay,
Bottom line is, for some reason, on some of the cases, it's only showing the first page of documents. So like if you have an offense report, it will only show him the first page. It won't show.
Oh,
the
yeah,
complete
yeah.
report.
Well,
So
yeah.
that's something we're trying to work on too.
it's some kind of glitch.
I don't believe it exists because they show you the first page and then the number like $6.50.
Oh, it's actually for you to pay for the rest.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
glitch. But if you get a first page, now you don't always get a first page, but once you get the first page.
You gotta
it's
pay for
$6.50.
the rest.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think the bottom line is the state's agreeable to a reset with our sympathies too. So
yeah. Okay, so now you said that's
Just hold on.
July 31st,
Yes,
right? The
sir.
felony. We're gonna reset it on the same day of the
Yes, sir.
felony.
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, we'll reset it on that
We
same
don't
day.
get it done on that day.
Right.
one way or another.
Yeah.
Right.
We gonna-
Right. Now, you mentioned something about the prosecutors, we had some to take other jobs and stuff like that. And so that's been one of the
one of the situations.
one of the issues. So, and so the problem today is the prosecutor, the one that's in this court is sick.
Yeah.
And Mr. Shearer just found out this morning, 10 minutes before he came into court, that he had to come in and pinch hit.
Well, Judge, I was a prosecutor, young man, and I was over here in Beaumont, and my fiance was an intern in Houston as a doctor. I think I'd leave too.
Yeah.
You get a little experience.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get you reset. Just stand in front of the court coordinator. Once y'all get y'all recess, y'all free to go. And y'all have a blessed day. You're welcome.